Reloading123. This is the last video in the rifle reloading series. As a matter of fact, this is the last video in the entire reloading series. We've gone through pistol A to Z. We're going through rifle A to Z. There's going to be some more tips, some more equipment reviews. You may hear in the background there's some gunshots going off. I live in a pretty active shooting community, which is cool. I've got my own range. A neighbor behind me has a range. There's a neighbor down here that has a range. I live in the country. My shop door is open today, unlike previous videos. And you may hear chickens, may even see chickens running around. But off camera 2 seconds ago, I had a hummingbird kind of hover right in here somewhere. I wish I would have had it on screen because it was kind of like, you know, feed me Seymour look on his face kind of thing. But anyway, so this is it. We are going to seat bullets to the correct length. This is rifle bullets, and again, final installment. So we're going to seat them, and then probably the next video that you're going to see from me is shooting them in the end result. But we are going to get started. So without waiting any longer, here comes. Okay, here we go, man. Final stretch. We are seating bullets. This is the easy part, in fact. Okay, so what we've got the charged cases ready to accept our 130 grain Sierra Pro Hunter. 270 cal, actually 2.277 in diameter. We got our Redding die set, and we are ready to start setting things up. Now, what you're going to want to do, there's one critical measurement that you've got to understand, and that is how deep do you want to seat the bullet. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to the book, and you are going to find out what the total overall length of this particular bullet is, a factory spec, and we are going to show you that here in a second. And we're going to put the charged case here. We're going to put in the die, which we could actually do now, but we just don't know how to set it up. What we're not going to do is we are not going to seat it and crimp. We are going to, I am actually not going to crimp, but I'll show you how to crimp as a separate step. I believe in crimping as a separate step. You have less chance for damaging cases that way. And let me show you what I want, how I want to set this up. So I want to run the ram up with the case. I want to lower, and you'll see, hopefully you'll see this coming down. I'm lowering the die until it hits the brass. Now, if you've trimmed this brass and you've checked it all that it's equal length, then this should work out just fine. So I'm touching the mouth of the brass right here, the edge, right? And then I'm going to back this off, I don't know, half turn. And then we are going to lock this puppy down. And by locking this down, that's going to make sure that we do not, since I raised it up a half turn, it's going to make sure that we do not crimp at the same time we are seating the bullet, okay? And then what happens is a lot of these have different profile seating plugs depending on the bullet you're using. So just make sure you're using the right profile. And you could play with both of them. What you'll take a look at is to see how this kind of fits the shape of the bullet ogive area, and use the appropriate one. Truth is, you'll probably not have a problem with either one, frankly, but this is already set up with the proper seater in it. I can kind of show you what that looks like. I'm going to do a couple things here while I've got you on camera. I'm going to finish locking this puppy down. Highly technical term, puppy. When I do that, I should be able to pop this. So this is the seating plug, and with my luck, it's not going it's going to be sitting. Okay, so what I did is I removed the die, and because I really wanted to show you the inside of this. I was showing you a little different type of plug. This plug, it kind of caught me off guard. I didn't realize I had another set of die set tools in here. But anyway, this is for a Hornady type seeder. This particular plug is a standardized plug. They don't have adjustable or replaceable shapes for the bullet, so it's kind of a one-size-fit-all on the inside. So basically, we're going to do the exact same thing I just did. We're going to show it to you again. I'm going to go all the way down, touch it, half turn. I'm going to lock this seeder down, or the body die down, because this body die actually would crimp. We're going to run the seeder down. So this seeder is going to be our bullet adjustment, okay? So what we're going to do is we've got the bullet in here. Excuse me, the loaded cartridge in here. Then you can sit this baby right on top. And then I like to kind of follow it. I don't know if you saw that. Probably going to be pretty hard to see. But and you can see the bullet right at the tip there. I like to kind of like gently let my fingers follow it in there, and it'll just kind of, this thing is all the way up, right, almost all the way out. It's almost going to fall out. The lock ring is, you can't even really see it, but the lock ring is off screen. And let's see if we can't fix that. Making some noise on you here, but I want to, all right, there you go. So basically this is loose. I've seated the bullet just a little ways. It's quite long right now. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get the book, show you what that looks like. Since I'm using a Sierra bullet, I've decided to open the Sierra book. See my giant finger? And so basically the model of the bullet that I'm using is 1830. It's this second one down. So you would use a 3.300, 3.3 overall length. And we can take a look at one other thing here. I apologize for this shot and the shaky footage. I'm holding my camera straight upside down. But you can see right here, Reloader123. We're using 57.5 grains, which kind of falls right in here between the 3,000, well, you probably can't see 3,000 feet a second, and max. And then right down below here, even further, right at the very bottom of your screen, it says accuracy load 56.7. Hunting load 58.2. Got it? So they found that Reloader123 was also great for this caliber, as I have. Okay, back in front of the press, you remember that number of 3.3. What you're going to do is make sure your micrometer is 0, which it is. You're going to take your hunting bullet, your round that you just created, and you're going to measure from the base. I like to try to put it real flat and then get the tip. So this happens to measure at 3.94. So quite a bit too long for 3.3, right? So what we will do is we are going to shorten this up a bit. We're going to lower the plunger that's on the inside until we get to 3.3. I'm going to lower it. Take our measurement again. Right around 3.7. Lower it again. 3.54. Lower it again. Excuse me, the dimension I'm after is 3.300. And I'm at, holy moly, what have I done? I'm at 3.23. 3.23. I was good where I started. Remember, I was at 3. I was misreading my caliper. Oh darn. Hopefully that didn't sound too staged. Let me show you how to fix this, okay? Okay, if you saw my pistol videos, then you saw the how to unload bullets. I am not going to spend a heck of a lot of time, but what you're going to do is take one of these, almost looks like a hammer, right? It is basically a bullet puller. They call it an impact puller. It's got a little piece on the inside. I'm just going to slide my round in there. We're going to put on our glasses. Okay, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're just going to tap this thing. You want to make it a little longer. You don't want to beat the heck out of it. You just want to make it a little longer. Off screen. Let's see if it looks like it might have. If you ever have a question, you can always take another bullet and hold it about side by side. Looks like we have a little bit we could go. Let's see what we got here. Let's hit it a couple more times. Okay, that was a pretty strong hit. And the bullet got super long. So we are going to, that is a quick way of fixing your whoopsie, right? Okay, so now we have a long bullet again. Really long. Really long. Kind of like we're starting over. We are at 3.45. 3.45. So now we want to make sure this is back up again. Again, we're just going little bit. 3.367. Okay, we gotta be getting close, right? 3.34. 40 thousandths long. Now I promised you a little trick, and 30 thousandths long, 3.33. Double check the book. This is a check twice kind of a thing. Bear with me. 8 thousandths to go. So what you want is this bullet to be aligned. Look at that. Bam. Couple things. You want this bullet to be aligned right. So my recommendation to you is when you run this up, so now we've got the thing seated right, and you can lock this thing down. So you're set at 3.33. You can run this in. My recommendation is do it a second time. Turn this bullet 180 degrees around, and you are going to have a much more consistent seating. Now, the other thing I'm sure you guys are wondering is, if this tip gets a little bit dented, doesn't that change the measurement? And the truth is, yes, it does. And so you need to take care and not messing your bullet up. So basically, with a perfect factory tip like this one has, that 3.3 measurement is accurate. And it's measuring this overall length like I'm showing you kind of between my fingers. But really, it's based on where this bullet gets close to standard riflings based on SAMI specifications. So if you load it this long and then you dent it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you load it considerably longer because it's dented, you might run into some problems. So make sure care is taken when you're kind of taking a look at these bullet tips. And you're going to find that, like the Nosler ballistic tips and the Barnes, and everybody's got some kind of a plastic tip nowadays for a bullet. You're going to find that those are very consistent because for obvious reasons. That tip doesn't deform or change any. So, all right, so there you go. That seats the bullet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to crimp that said bullet. Now, interestingly enough, if you go through all of these and you can seat them, I'm not going to, because I'm going to seat them a little bit longer, and I can explain that in a minute. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pull this seater completely out, because I'm not going to use it. And what I am going to do is I'm going to loosen this up. And again, we are seating and crimping in a separate step. It is the way I highly, highly, highly recommend you doing it. So basically now, I'm going to run the round up. I'm going to take this body die and run down and hit. It hits right there. Now we're just going to give it a little quarter turn. And we're going to give it a nice little dunk seating. I am getting inhaled by mosquitoes. So basically, quarter turn, and I would highly recommend you take a look at the manufacturer's die recommendations. But that's all you really need to do. That round is complete. You've seated the bullet. You've essentially squeezed the case against the bullet, and now it is locked in place. That round is ready to go downrange. That's it. That is the last video. Reloading123 rifle series. I've got all kinds of other stuff coming at you, and I've got some reviews. I'm going to actually shoot these rounds and show you the results, show you some note taking. I've got the rounds from the pistol reloading, the 44 Magnum rounds that are also I need to show you those. But hey, it's been a great ride. You know, thank you guys for hanging in there for pistol and rifle. This is not going to be the end. I'm going to take you deeper, deeper, deeper down the rifle rabbit hole to show you how to squeeze a little more accuracy out of your hunting loads. As it is, if you work up the right round, you know, we didn't do complete workup rounds because I already had this load worked up. But if we were to reload in, say, 0.5 grain increments all the way up to almost max, let's say, then 56, 56.5, 57, 57.5, and then we went to the range and we shot those slowly, letting the barrel cool between rounds, and 5 rounds on each target, then you would actually be able to see why I picked this round, because it is the most accurate. And I think I actually showed you that in my book and the reason why I'm picking this round, so probably don't have to go over that again. But we're going to shoot this, we're going to show you the results. But that's it, guys. That is rifle reloading. Thank you, thank you, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for subscribing. Hit like if you like, make comments if you want to see different videos or some specific subject I need to recover. I'm also going to, tell me what you think about this, I'm actually going to review reloading manuals, and I've kind of set up a template on how I'm going to try to do that objectively, and you guys be the judge. So anyway, until the next video, thank you guys for chiming in. This is Paul, Reloading123, over and out.